In a previous video, I covered compound interest, and I broke down compound interest into 3 specific areas. What is compound interest? What are compound cycles? And how do you maximize compound interest? Which brings me to why we're really here today. Compound cycles and the impact on creating secure compound interest. During the compound cycles portion, I shared a graphic, and I felt this graphic deserved its own video, its own explanation. I want to spend some time here because of all the videos that I've done and all of the videos that I'm yet to do. This one is probably the most important. This is the one that you should go get your children and have them sit down and watch. Why? Because compound interest will change your life. Compound interest is how wealth is created and then passed on generationally. So let's spend some time discussing this graph. Quick recap. 30-year-old makes a one-time $10,000 investment, and that one-time $10,000 investment yields him a 9% return over time, which results in about $320,000 by the age of 70. Well, we know through the rule of 72, if you divide 72 by the interest that you're going to receive on your investment, it will take a total of 8 years approximately for your money to double just one time. So one compound cycle takes a total of 8 years. So ultimately what that means is it will take 8 years for your $10,000 to double just one time. And so what happens each year after that? Well, it will take another 8 years for that $20,000 to become 40, at 40 to become 80, 80 to become 160. And by the age of 70, that one $10,000 investment has made you $320,000. So what have we learned here? Compound interest, which is what? Compound interest is your money making money, and the money that your money makes continues to make you money. So compound interest is dependent upon some key variables. Did you notice them? To turn $10,000 into $320, you need what? Well, obviously you need money. But in addition, you need to be able to put that $10,000 into a secure compound interest producing vehicle. Well, what does that mean? See, you need to put your money somewhere you know it's safe, where you'll be able to sleep well at night knowing it's doing its job.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Into a secure compound interest producing vehicle. Your money's making you money, and it's making you that money without significant risk. As in this example, that 9% return is somewhat modest. But when compounding takes effect with little risk of losing your money over time, the magical happens. And can you see the most important variable? The most important variable here is time. You give $10,000 enough time in the right vehicle, it can do some special things. But what if we started sooner? Or better yet, even with less money? What if at age 6 you deposited $5,000 in an account for your child, just one time? $5,000 one time for your 6-year-old. And that account yields the exact same 9% return. And then you allow that 9% to compound over time. 14 years old, 22 years old, 30 years old, and so on. By the same age of 70, look at what's happened. By giving your $5,000, again, $5,000 less than the original 10, same interest rate, but you're adding 3 more compound cycles. Notice by contributing half the amount of money and allowing 3 more compound cycles, that's a total of 24 years. You are able to achieve 4 times the amount of money at the exact same age. This is a powerful example of how a small sum of money, giving a long-term commitment, which is time, can produce a significant amount of wealth. But how about this? At age 30, instead of investing $10,000, you invest $30,000. How does that change things? Well, all other factors being equal, you would be able to increase your retirement age by almost 3 times. So adding an additional $20,000 up front gave you almost an additional $600,000 during the exact same time frame. But what if you could speed up the compound cycle? Okay, what does that mean? What if you could achieve, instead of a 9% return, you could achieve a 10% return? What does achieving a 10% return actually do? Well, in this same example, the compound cycles would be achieved in 7.2 years instead of 8 years. And again, how do we know that? 72 divided by 10 is 7.2. So the compound cycles would be achieved almost 9 months earlier. Now, that doesn't seem like it's a significant amount of time, but what does that do to compound interest? So your $30,000 would grow to $60,000 by the age of 37.2 years, and so on and so forth. By increasing your return from 9% to 10, reducing your compound cycle down from 8 years to 7.2 years, allows for almost 1 additional compound cycle. which means your money doubles one more time. So instead of $960,000 at age 70, you would achieve somewhere around $1.8 million at the exact same age. In the exact same amount of time, by speeding up the compound cycle by just over 9 months, from every 8 years to 7.2, nearly doubles your total wealth. If you're wondering how all of this compound interest stuff might apply to you, think about this. If you don't understand compound interest, I guarantee you someone or some business is making compound interest off you. So that money that's sitting in your savings account, how long is it taking for your money to double just one time? And what is actually happening inside of your savings account? Let's answer those questions. Start your WTF journey with me to start accumulating that wealth, take control of your time so that you can have the true freedom that you actually deserve. I'm Donnell with Self-Directed Strategy. I appreciate your investment in me and this channel. So until next time.